guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, of course, and for today's video I'm going to be giving you guys an update on the fleet and how everything's been with me mentally, physically, and some things that recently happened. Love and life. Before I get started, I just want to say, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications so you get notified of any new videos. My vlogs are honestly fucking amazing, if I do say so myself. But if there is anything that you guys would like to see, go ahead and leave it, comment it down below. And I do respond to all my comments, so if there's any questions that you guys have or any video suggestions, go ahead and type it up. The next videos I'm going to be doing, I think, is going to be like a morning work day routine and then a evening routine. So those should be interesting because my life has changed a lot over the last month. So first I want to start off with a life update with like being the fleet and everything. So I got to my station here in Lemoore, California, April 29th of 2022. Right off the bat, when I got here, I was still limited duty from C school, so I was TAD to the Gidunk for 3 months. Mid-July, I'm kind of summing it up because I know I did another video of like the beginning of like the fleet update thing, so I was gonna kind of sprinkle and go over some information. But basically, you know, I met people, I was hanging out with them, we were drinking, partying, going to the lake, the rivers. It was fucking amazing. And then like midway through July, after my birthday, I finally decided to go to the gym with one of my friends who'd been wanting to get me to go. And that day I met someone that became someone special to me. The next weekend I invited her over to our apartment and stuff like that. And you know, it was great. I was happy. From the beginning, she told me she didn't want to commit to anything because she had just like gotten out of a relationship. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but basically towards the end of August, things started to like get complicated between us, and it became very, very, very toxic. And we like argued all the time, especially when we were like drunk and stuff. And just like mentally, I was already kind of like falling back. Like I said, I don't want to say too much just for the privacy of this person that might watch this video. I don't want any problems, and I'm trying to respect her, even though I know you guys most likely don't know her, but still I just want to be respectful of her. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically just things started spiraling, and it ended up in a huge separation. And it was at that time when I started to struggle mentally again. I was still kind of struggling, but I was actually like managing a lot better. So it was like as soon as I was feeling good again, you know, everything just kind of hit me again. So I started spiraling mentally, and I felt like at that moment, like I really, really, really needed my family, the people who never abandon me, who never break their promises, and who I know I will always have at the end of the day. So I decided to take leave and go surprise my family, which you guys may have seen those videos. If you don't, I will link it in the iCard above, or like pull it up somewhere, and also link it down below in the bio, or description box. There you go. So I decided to take a trip to go home and see my family, and I miss them so much. I wanted to see my best friend so bad. So me and my best friend planned the whole thing for a month, and I decided I didn't want to tell any of my family members, because anytime I would try to surprise my siblings, my mom, my dad ended up like spilling the tea or like, you know, whatever. So it was always fucking not working. So I decided to just tell my best friends and leave my family out of it. So I had my best friend pick me up, surprised them all. It was great. I went to some clubs with my best friend. It was literally fucking amazing. I absolutely loved it. I will say during that trip, me and the girl got into an argument over the phone, and like literally went our separate ways ish. There was like a lot of times when we went our separate ways. It was just like a back and forth type shit. But anyway, so when I got back to Lemoore that weekend, I went out with my friends to the club again, and since she had kind of became part of our friend group, she was also there. So I just kind of tried to keep my distance. I was with my friends and I was just dancing on random fucking people like you do at a club, dancing on my friends and stuff like that, literally just keeping my fucking distance. And then I don't know, like all of a sudden like the mood just went away, and like I felt that shit. Like basically like she left, I left, met up with a friend, I was at a park. Arguments over the phone started up again between some people and her, and it just completely ruined everything. Like that was the time, like the last time when we totally went our separate fucking ways. So that hit me like really fucking hard. Started partying some more. I was just like, you know what, I don't give a fuck. Like we've been doing this cat and mouse type shit for a while now, so it was like I was losing interest already anyways, and I was seeing the fucking future, which I was. So I was just, you know, continuing my life. I was living big. I was partying, I was drinking, oh no, you know what I'm saying? But eventually that did come to an end, like mid-October, over some situations that happened. And I just, you know, that was the time when I like realized, like took a realization, and I was like literally like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Why am I getting so butthurt over this person? Why is this what why am I using this to cope with this? And just like I just started like asking myself so many questions, like, why are you so attached? Why are you hurting yourself? Why did you not walk away? Like, you know, stuff like that. So I was just like, I took like a ginormous step back, and I stopped going out like entirely. I stopped hanging out with my friends. I isolated myself. I'm still isolating, honestly. It is January 23rd today. So I have been isolating this entire time, and I went to mental health like beginning of October kind of, and I didn't really go because of like, well, I went because of my depression that was kind of like coming back, but it was more like I just wanted someone to vent to, and who doesn't know me or our situation personally, like my life at all. So that ended up being the worst decision I ever fucking made. So sorry for my verbatim, but yeah, that ended up turning out to be the worst decision I ever made. Basically, first of all, like the first thing that came to his mind was, okay, like after only 2 days of speaking, he was like, okay, so like honestly, I was thinking about separation, blah 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 blah. I'm like, whoa now, whoa, sir, it's not that fucking serious. It's not that fucking serious. Tone it back, because I am not getting separated. And he was like, oh, well, I'm glad you don't want to get separated, and this is that. But a big part of why I say that that was the worst idea of my life, is because, for one, I did overtalk a little bit, and I like caught myself, like as soon as I said a little bit too much, I was like, fuck. But I had already said it, so I was like, oh, okay, well, fuck me. But what I did not expect is that he was going to report me to DAPA, which is drug and alcohol abuse. Was not expecting that at all. And he said I self-reported. So it was just like, he ended up fucking me over, because he not only was a therapist, he was actually also a DAPA person, which I did not know about. So he reported me saying I self-reported. Some fuck shit. Had me do a whole bunch of things. Basically, he like at the time, in October I started focusing a lot. Like, I put my everything into my job, focusing on my career, focusing on myself and my healing and everything. But I was like focusing on my career and my future, and working on my finances, because I had been financially unstable. So after that, like, he literally took me out of my job. He put me on LIMDU, which, if you guys don't know, that means limited duty. You can't really work on jets or anything like that. You just kind of either stay in your shop and do paperwork, or they send you TAD. So that's what they were trying to do to me, is send me back to the Gidang for another 3 months. But I already did that, so I was like, fuck no. Again, sorry for my verbatim. So I got really upset. And I was crying, and I was like, what is your problem? Like, I literally told you that I was focusing on my job. My job is what has been helping me, and the people at my job have became my fucking family, literally, and you're taking that shit away from me. And he was like, I'm sorry you have to see it like that, but like, I just want you to focus on yourself. And I was like, you do realize, like, you giving me more time, like right now what I need is something to help me forget about all of the shit that I'm dealing with, and have me do something positive. Unlike people who actually drink to get away from their feelings, I don't do that. I work and I focus on myself. That's what I do. So he's like, I think you need some time for yourself. I'm like, you do realize, like, you taking me away from my job is gonna give me more fucking time to think and be depressed and sad and stuff like that. And he was like, well, I'm sorry you had to see it like that. And I'm like, well, fuck you, bitch. So after that happened, my command actually did let me continue working. So, oh, and I was put in AA meetings because I'm an alcoholic. People, please tell me. Let me give you guys my situation. So for one, I drink once every other weekend. Again, once every other weekend. There was 1 month and a half during the summer where I drank once, maybe twice, every weekend. Again, weekend. Never, ever, 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 ever in my life have I drank during a work period, during a work day, Monday through Friday. Never. Or even when it was fucking Sunday through Thursday. Never, ever, ever did I drink when I had work. And then when everything went down with the girl on October 1st, I decided to also take a step back from drinking not drinking, but like, I decided to focus a lot more on God, and because, you know, He's my Savior, He is my Lord. And so I made Sundays sacred Sundays, and I would continue to go to church. So throughout like, I want to say July and August, I started going to the gym. Not the gym, sorry. I started going to church every single Sunday without missing. And I took it a step further in October to make Sundays sacred Sundays. So I would not drink at all, and I would make it a healing day. So I would, by myself, basically, I would go to church. I would sketch at the parking lot of a church or a park, and I would just, you know, doodle, draw, sketch, because if you guys don't know, I'm a sketcher. I love sketching, I love painting, all of that stuff. And then I also like jammed out to music by myself in my car. I would get, you know, lottery tickets, stuff like that. And it was just like a healing day. So like, again, I said, from mid-October to now, I have completely isolated. After everything happened, I took myself away from life. I have not gone to the club since October 1st. I stopped going to kickbacks. We had kickbacks every fucking weekend, and I have not gone to one in I don't even know how long. I probably went to one in between like this period, but I didn't drink, I didn't do anything. I was just like there, and then I ended up leaving early because I wasn't having it. Like, it wasn't my scene anymore. Or not that it wasn't my scene, I just wasn't feeling it, so I just left. I stopped hanging out with my friends. Literally, I would only see them at work, and then I'd literally be in my room. So I went from going out every single weekend to not going out, not leaving my room unless it was for work purposes, like for months. It has been It has been 4 months already. Three months? It has been a little bit over 3 months, about like 3.5 months, that I have like not gone out at all. So basically, let me, I know the time is already like really high up on this, but mental health is very, very important. And you know, when you take something from someone, it doesn't, I don't know how to say this, like my therapist taking away my job, that didn't help me at all. It's thanks to my command that continued to let me like work on the days that I could, that, you know, I mean, even if I didn't, I would just deal with it, and just eventually I'd come around and, you know, whatever. But I was able to still work, and I was able to get more calls for my PC. And then yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm getting like really off track. So basically, I was put in AA meetings for alcohol abuse because he thinks I'm a fucking alcoholic. And then we had Christmas break. So Christmas break, oh, also in November, after like a month of not talking, the girl texted me, talked, we was cool, whatever. But she had moved on, if you know what I mean. And yeah, so then I went on holiday break. I went home again, and I hung out with family. But this time when I went in December, I didn't go out at all, honestly. I hung out with my best friend once, maybe twice, and then I hung out with my other best friend and her family 2 or 3 times. And for the rest of the time, I literally just stayed in my room the whole time. You know, occasionally we would go to like I think we went to the river walk like twice, maybe. The movie theater like once, stuff like that. But for the most part, I just kind of stayed in my house. So I mean, it was good, it was great. And then I got back here, and honestly, like, I got back January 1st. Well, December 31st at like 9 I got back. Like 9:10. I literally spent New Year's like getting out of the shower.